Welcome to the second class of OSI reference model. In the previous class I have introduced that what is OSI reference model, who developed the OSI reference model. It is ISO who has developed the OSI reference model. Now why the layering is important? Because if I want to do a task, it needs to break up into some layers so that the tasks will be executed in a smoother way. And in each layer, and also I have discussed that it has got 7 layers starting from physical data link to application. Now in today's class I will discuss about the function of each layer. Now what is the main function of physical layer, data link layer, network layer, how the data has been transported from one machine to another machine or from one network to another network, that will be discussed elaborately in this lecture. So first of all I will just discuss about the physical layer, the different function of physical layer. This is the functions of layer. Functions of layer. Physical layer is the first and foremost layer. Now by this name we can understand that physical layer deals with the physical transmission of the data. Now whenever one data has been transported in this physical layer, in this section it is in the 0 and 1 format. So whenever the data has been transported from one device to another device, there is a part that is 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 1. Suppose this is a data. Now physically if I want to transmit it by using this physical layer, that whole data has been converted into a signal, an electromagnetic signal. Now through some physical medium, that data or that signal has been transported, and in the this is receiver section, and in the sender section, this is a sender section, and this is a receiver section. Receiver just received this data in this same format, that is in signal format, and encoded into 0 and 1. Now the first function is the physical characteristics. Physical care of interface. This is the first function. It is look after the physical care of interface, characteristic of interface. The second one, how the bit has been represented, in which format. Representation of bits. It has been looked after by this physical medium, a physical layer. Now the third point is data rate. The fourth point is physical topology. As we all have learned about physical topology, there are different topological structure. Now which topology the network will follow, that will be decided by this physical layer or looked after by this physical layer. The third one is transmission mode. As we all have learned that there are different transmission modes are there. Like simplex is one kind of transmission mode, half duplex, simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Now which transmission mode the data or the network will take or follow, that will be decided by this physical layer. So these are the 5 point or the 5 function of physical layer. Now the second part, whenever this physical layer has transported it, it will be received by a receiver section. In the receiver section there is also a physical layer. Physical will receive that, encode it, and it will send the data into the data link layer. So in the next part I will discuss the function of data link layer. In data link layer, the second layer is data link layer. The main first and foremost thing or foremost function of this data link layer, it converts the data into a frame. A big data has been converted into some frame. Suppose this is a big or whole bit set. That whole bit set has been converted into some frames. So first function of this data link layer is framing of the bits. The bits which has been received, that has been framed by this data link layer. The second one is called flow control. Flow control mechanism and error control mechanism is a very important function of this data link layer. Flow control means, suppose you are sending a data in 2 Mbps speed. The sending speed is 2 Mbps. Now whenever the receiver received that, the capability of the receiver is 1 Mbps. So whenever you are sending it in 2 Mbps speed and the capability of the receiver is 1 Mbps, that means 1 megabit of data has been received per second. So there must be a flow control mechanism in the data link layer, and data link layer is looking after this thing, that is the flow control. Error control. Now what do you mean by error control? Suppose you are sending a data and the bit has been changed in due course of the journey. Now error control means if any error occurs due to the journey, that error correction or the error checking has been done by this data link layer. So error control. Now the fourth point is physical addressing. Physical address. Actually, in data link layer, if in a network 3 machine is there, now one machine A wants to send the data to B, then whenever it is in a single LAN or within a network, then it has got a MAC address or physical address. It has got a MAC address or physical address. Now the data packet which has been sent by this A, that is a sender, and received by B as a receiver, that means the source address of this data, source address of this frame is the MAC address of this A machine, and destination address of this data or frame is the address of this B machine. So within a network, data link layer is looking after the address or the physical properties. Now the second part, or the third layer is a network layer. Network layer, by this means, whenever you want to send the data outside the network, outside your own network, that time network layer comes into play. And here the main thing is physical addressing. Physical addressing, or which is called IP addressing. The IP addressing assigned to the machine is looked after by this network layer. Now in this layer the data has been packetized. The data has been packetized. So the network layer, the data is called packet. In data link layer it is frame, and in physical layer it is stream of bits. And the second function is routing. How the data has been routed from one network to another network, that has been looked after by this network layer. And network layer, the sending is called source to destination delivery. Destination delivery. So whenever, and it is sending, it is used for sending packets outside a network. So it is called source to destination delivery. Second, the data is called packet here. In the data link there, it is frame, and in physical data, stream of bits. Thank you very much.